Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Storytale Cakes. In this episode, I'm going to be showing you how to make a floral wreath basket flower cake. You can use this technique on a pre-ganache cake or even a buttercream cake. So without further ado, shall we get started? To make our weave pattern, you can use a 2B piping tip for a bigger weave pattern, or you can use a 48 piping tip for a smaller weave pattern. For this tutorial, I'll be using a 2B piping tip. My cake is 7-inch, and I think that using a 2B piping tip will give a bigger, nice weave pattern. Pipe a vertical line down your cake and then shorter horizontal lines across, leaving a gap approximately the size of your piping tip. And now pipe your next vertical line over the ends of the horizontal lines. You now want to pipe lines from the gap and over the vertical line, and that's literally all you need to do around the whole cake to get that gorgeous basket weave pattern. Also, a handy tip, when you're creating this pattern, try to keep it at an eye level as well, because it helps you to see how the pattern is flowing. I recommend occasionally wiping your piping tips so it gives nice clean lines. Apply a bit of buttercream to stick the baking paper, and for the bud, pipe a small cone and use a Wilton 104 tip with the thin side facing up to pipe petals around the bud. Create different colours because they'll look so cool when they're all put together. For our simple pretty blossom flower, just use the same 104 tip, tilt it slightly, then move it out and inwards, remembering to circle the flower nail as you go. Now just add yellow dots to the centre. We're going to do the same for the pink blossom, but add a second layer for that extra detail. Go ahead and create as many as you'd like. These are super simple, yet they look so effective on the cake. For the petal tip, just pipe a blob with dots on top, and then using a 104 Wilton piping tip, you're just going to pipe petals on the outside. Here's a handy tip for you guys. I find that if you want the rose to be more closed, then you'll tilt the piping tip more inwards, and if you want the rose to be more open, then slightly tilt the piping tip outwards for a more open look. Make sure the piping tip is straight and then move the tip out and inwards to create an inner nice ruffle look. Then you want to go ahead and pipe petals on the outside and dots on the inside. Guilty confession guys, I actually don't even know what this flower is. It's pretty much a result of experimenting randomly with different tips. But you know what? It's beautiful, and that's all that matters. So now we're going to put it in the freezer for about 10 minutes so it's nice and firm to put onto the cake. To make our flowers dome up, I'm going to pipe a bit of icing so it gets a nice dome effect for the flowers. Pipe a ring of buttercream around the cake and use a spatula to remove the excess buttercream to shape it into a dome. And if you have a turntable, it will make it easier. Are you guys ready for the exciting part? We're going to add all the flowers from the freezer and place it onto the cake to bring our basket to life. Wow guys, how gorgeous does this look? We're now going to complete the look by adding in leaves to fill in the gaps. I'm using a 366 Wilton piping tip, and I'm putting it on this type of an angle. And what we're going to do is we're going to add pressure and squeeze it out like a zigzag. So just pop down here, I'll show you how it's done. So to add in the leaves, we're going to just hold pressure and squeeze it out like a leaf. Final touches to the cake, we're going to add some cute little handles to go on the sides of the basket. You'll need 2 lollipop sticks to create the structure for the handle. When you're curving the lollipop stick, you want to curve it slowly, otherwise it will snap. That's nice. And curve it slowly, don't... Oh! Yeah, that's what happens when it snaps. Really gently, otherwise it's going to snap. Roll out some pink fondant to wrap around the lollipop stick. So just going to start about here because we're going to leave some spot. And now the final step is to add it into the sides of the cake, and voila, you're done. As always, thanks for watching guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. This is definitely one of my favorite cakes. Happy birthday to Wani if you're watching this. Also, please remember to subscribe for weekly tutorials, and I'll see you soon.